So why do I buy luxury? Welcome to you, my name's Dale and this is Dale's Addiction. Today I am filming just a video about a few thoughts on luxury, what it is and why I buy it, and this is in response to a couple of videos. One I was tagged in from a YouTuber that I hadn't heard of until she tagged me and I watched her video. So thanks for involving me in the conversation, Veronica. I will link your video in the description box below. She was talking about why do we buy luxury, and a couple of her main points were really around this concept of because it's better quality, and yes, you pay more, but the quality is better so it lasts longer. That was kind of the main gist of the argument around buying luxury and how potentially that has been changing over recent years. And so therefore, why do we keep buying it, I suppose, if it's not what it used to be? And then one of our faves and very well-known YouTubers, Cassie Thorpe, was talking about an article that she read about how luxury isn't luxury anymore in relation to this whole concept of queuing or having to line up to go and shop. And so I thought I'd kind of mix my thoughts together on both of those topics to just kind of broach this conversation in my usual natural way, which is probably not the same as what everyone thinks. And these are all my personal opinions, and they're not to disparage anyone else's opinions, they're just mine. What I have is, I don't think luxury is subjective. I think luxury is a pretty obvious thing to people. Luxury, you don't get to decide, I don't think, what a luxury is. Certain things are luxuries. We can take that to the next level and apply luxury thinking to things like time and choice and, you know, lifestyle. Yeah, absolutely. But when we're in this niche on YouTube and we're talking about luxury products and items, we're talking about a very particular thing, and that is not subjective at all. We're talking about brands that have esteem, that have exclusivity, that, you know, I'm going to say it, they're elite. They aren't for everybody. They aren't for everybody because of where they're priced. They aren't for everybody because of how difficult they are to get. They are called luxury in this community anyway. That's what luxury is, and it's stupid maybe, but I think it's pretty clear what we're talking about. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing I wanted to say is that luxury may imply that there is an element of craftsmanship or quality of materials, but as we know, that is not always the case. When I think about luxury items in this niche of YouTube is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about all the other things you could apply luxury to. It's more about those things, exclusiveness, eliteness, the price of things, and, you know, and how difficult they are to obtain. But it's that in relation to this fashion overlay, which is sometimes art. It's an interpretation of what's happening in the moment. It's saying something. You know, our friends, old friends, Balenciaga, used to say a lot. But a lot of design houses and creative directors are saying things through luxury fashion. And I think we forget that it's an art form. And sometimes it's trendy and fashionable, but sometimes it's just art that we wear. And we curate those pieces because they say something about us and what we want to say to the world. And I think if you look at Pharrell Williams, you know, collection for Louis Vuitton, it's saying something to the world about who Louis Vuitton is for and what types of people wear Louis Vuitton compared to what you used to think. Like, it's saying something. And I think when it comes to luxury's capacity to say something, it shouts it, you know, it doesn't whisper it. Even quiet luxury is saying something really loud. It's saying, hey, you don't know how much I cost unless you know how much I cost, in which case you and I are doing the caravan wave to each other, right? Because if you know, you know. And people who know, right? So it's not quiet. It's pretty damn obvious. It's like a car person. I might not be able to pick a car on the side of the road and know anything about it or its value, but I can tell you, my husband can pick out a car that I think is dog ugly, that is so old, and it will be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Is that a luxury? Is it? Because I don't know that it's one? I think you could say it is. It's a luxury car. It meets all the criteria. It's exclusive. It's hard to get. It prices people out. It's very rare. And it says something about a time or an era. So I think those two concepts kind of go hand in hand. Now, the luxury experience is something that people will agree with me or disagree with me on. One of the things that I love about shopping for luxury, as per the definitions given earlier, is the experience. I do a lot of browsing and scrolling and looking online. I talk to people now. I have this big community of people to talk to about what's coming, what they like, what colours are coming, what styles, what's hit the runway, what's going into production and what's not. I have all those conversations. I get lots and lots of information. It's something that I really enjoy. I don't research per se. I just get excited. And then when those things come into the boutique, that's where I want to see them. I want to go in. I want to have a glass of champagne. I want to try things on. I want to challenge myself in terms of how I'm thinking about them. I want to engage with my sales associate about how I could style them. I want to touch and feel and sniff, as Connor does. I want to do all the things, and at the end of that appointment, I want to walk out with a shopping bag feeling fabulous and excited about getting home and unwrapping my parcel and playing with it and integrating it into my closet and my lifestyle. So for me, the luxury experience is part of it. I realise that people say it's a bit hit and miss and it's inconsistent, but I think that when you buy enough luxury, you get to a point where you know how to set yourself up for that experience. You have an appointment, you have a relationship, you don't waste people's time, you know what you're doing, and the relationship works like that. It is not an opportunity for you to go and wander around and try things on that you have no intention of purchasing ever, if at all, just for something fun to do on a Saturday afternoon. I think if you want a consistent luxury experience, then you've got to put in 50%. And that's the thing about luxury shopping. It's not like any other shopping, right? It's different, and that's what I like about it. Now, in terms of queuing, I'm not a fan. Even in Paris, Meredith and I went to great lengths to network very widely with people we knew who had been in Europe and Paris, in particular, quite recently, as well as the work that I did getting to know sales associates in Italy through friends who had previously been there. And so we made appointments and therefore set ourselves up for a great experience. There were places where we couldn't make an appointment, Guillard, for example. And I think Meredith might have lined up for about 10 minutes before she came to Chanel in Rue Cambon and just went, no, this is not for me. After all of the fabulous experiences that we've had, I'm not doing it. I don't care that much. And I think that's kind of how I feel about queuing these days. Sometimes you get to Chanel, and there's no line, there's no queue, yet you still have to wait, and, the joke's on us, right? But we do. The joke's on us because we pay for items after significant price increases. The joke's on us because we buy items that fall apart. Does it mean that they're not luxury? I don't think so. I think the luxury concept is the thing that reigns supreme over all of it, and it keeps us coming back for more. And it's why these brands are continuing to make mega profits, because we like it. We like that. We like the challenge. We do. Progress is happiness, right? That's a saying, and there's a lot of truth in that. Why do I spend lots of money on things? Because I'm materialistic, because I'm frivolous, because I'm fickle, because I'm vain, maybe all those things. But why? Because I enjoy it, because I love it, because I have a creative part of my personality that loves to express how I'm feeling and what kind of presence I want to have through the clothes and accessories that I wear. And I get more of that feeling when I purchase luxury pieces that are kind of wearable art than what I do when I purchase other pieces. Most of my clothing is high street. A lot of it is smaller labels. Still expensive, but you know, if they're kind of like the back of the canvas. The things that are up front, that are in focus, they're the things that I really enjoy putting the finishing touch into an outfit. And for me, that's why I buy luxury, because of how I feel when I carry it, because of the feeling it gives me when I pull an outfit together, because of this time in my life where I have the opportunity to do so, because it brings me a sense of gratitude that I have this opportunity to really indulge in something that I love, and I can, and I will, and I don't know when it will end, and I don't think I need to, and I'm not quiet about it in any part of my life, in my personal life, in my professional life, in any part of my life. You know, it's funny when your dad says to you, he cleans out his garage, and I say, hey Dad, how come you need 3 hard hats, like you've retired? And he says, how come you need 50 handbags? I don't have to hide that from my family, and I don't. I could, but I don't. And I don't hide it from my workmates, and I don't hide it from my friends. It's a part of who I am, and I will not apologise for it, because I love it. So I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts? What do you buy luxury? How do you define luxury? Do you agree or disagree with anything I've said in this video? I'd love to hear, you know, your genuine thoughts on this matter, because I think it can be very divisive. I think we try and make it something that's very democratized, and it's not. It's not democratized. Should it be? Well, would it still be luxury if it was? You know, something to consider. So thanks for joining me on this little chatty chat. Please give it a thumbs up if you found it somewhat entertaining or informative or otherwise, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I put out videos on Wednesdays and Sundays, and sometimes some extras. Remember to go and check out Veronica's channel, that will be linked in the description box below, and also Cassie's video on the topic as well. Until my next one, ciao for now.